Hi, this is Bob Dunham, founder of the Institute for Generative Leadership, and I'm pleased to co-introduce this webinar series on racism that's actually been in the works for over a year in the Institute. We found that this is something that is a world and social concern that calls for leadership.
Hello and welcome. I'm Andrea Bordenka. I'm the CEO of the Institute for Generative Leadership USA. I'm happy to pass this over to Sonia Boo and Stephen Jones to tell us a little bit more about these upcoming conversations.
Hi, Bob and Andrea. I'm pleased to be with you all and my colleague Sonia as we get ready to launch this series of webinar conversations around race and racism, largely because I spend my time doing work to help leaders of organizations make things better and achieve results that actually make society better based on what they do. And so I have a big care that our nation and the people in small communities and large communities are able to improve the lives of their constituents and their residents.
Hi, I'm Sonia Boo, and I am a leadership coach with the New York City Leadership Academy and in the New York City Department of Education, where we have engaged in this conversation about race and racism and the impact that it has on students and people. So I welcome you, and I'm excited to be a co-facilitator with my colleague Stephen.
The gift of what we plan to do with people is engage them in generative conversations about race. So our job will be to take the generative distinctions and make them applicable to the conversations around race and the action of individuals, teams, and the ways in which we address our world.
The distinctions of the general leadership domain, we're going to employ it and see how we can examine the concern of race and racism with this distinction of me, we, world, spaces, and self.
It is a course that's designed to help people understand themselves better and then still understand themselves better in relationship to their systems of teams, organizations, and their society and communities. We're looking for them to walk away with a capacity to have conversations and lead in those conversations without feeling overwhelmed and vulnerable to the space in which they stop acting.
So in this course, we're going to open the space for us to begin exploring and examining our blind spot around it, the stories and the history that we have learned that prevent us from actually having this conversation.
Join us on an adventure into self, into relationship with your greater community, and to identify areas of stretch for each of us in terms of the ways we enter conversations, the ways we hold our bravery to have challenging conversations, and the way to have fun in a new and thought-provoking topic that is facing our nation and people across the globe. What do we do with race because of how we are able to show up in relationship to it?
We're inviting people to enter as learners, to give ourselves a dignified beginner stance as we enter into this conversation about race and racism and structure and how it impacts our lives as it impacts the workplaces where we either lead or coach.
Two questions that I'm inviting people to in this series is what is mine to do? What is ours to do? And also, what is it going to take to fulfill a commitment as leaders in life to create a world in the future in which everyone thrives? It's possible because we're creating the future already. So let's create a better one.